this is Guido coming after the Tactics Talk. I've loaded into a Malinovka in my American T-34 Tier 8 Premium Heavy Tank. Looking at the setup there, quite a few TDs up top. Both of us have a Tier 9 Heavy, and then some various heavies in the middle, and a decent amount of artillery, especially for Malinovka. Those M53, 55s will hit hard, so I've got to be cognizant of them. You can see then as we start to deploy, we have a considerable amount of tanks going down to the south. WZ, AMX, and as long as they push around and get busy, that will be helpful. The Sturv and the Jagdtiger going that way, I'm less excited about. So now as we move up, you can tell that we are fairly light on the hill. The key terrain on this map is absolutely this hill. So if the enemy pushes up with a lot of their heavies in that T-30, we could be in big trouble up here. But I figure I've got to get up to the mill and at least try to hold this for as long as possible. The mill gets up there and starts working on the defender. Exposes his hole a little more than I would have liked. Takes some hits as he comes in there. I'll show you what I'm doing with my camera. And as I move up, the IS-6 is going to dive off. I probably had a snapshot on the defender right here, which I did not take. So I'm holding my shot and trying to get around. So I've got to be cognizant of 53, 55. Fortunately, I wasn't lit until I got up and near it. And then our arty ends up taking that guy out. So now I've got to be careful about their arty. I knock down those stairs when I'm working up here. They just tend to get in the way. I don't believe they block shots, but they do make it difficult to see what you're aiming at on occasion if you're trying to shoot through them. I do see the IS-6 down there. There's a T-10 trolling around, and here comes the customers. So I'll end up hitting him, and I'll throw an angle on there to try to make his shot more difficult. In addition, he was look up, so unless he was catching me on the lower hole, it was going to be a pretty good chance of bouncing. I am going to side scrape out here just enough to shoot right as I reload, take that shot, and jump right back into shoving the front part of my tank into the mill. And we've got an IS-6 and I-10. These guys are feeling pretty confident now. I bet they feel like they've got me. I don't fix the track. I figured I'd fix it just in time to move and maybe bounce him, but I don't get there quite in time. He's a one-shot, so I'm just going to drive in here and take him down. And I eat the shot from the T-29, but that's fine. I needed to take that T-34. I didn't want to work against two guys. Trying to time shots against two just isn't going to work. And now I'm looking for this guy's weak spot on the top of his tank. And I get a fairly lucky. That's what I was trying to do, but I will obviously admit it was fairly lucky. And the arty goes in there. Unfortunately, it doesn't take him out. Trying to side scrape this as much as possible. He ends up getting a shot. And because I had saved my track repair, or save my repair kit until then, I'm able to use it at a critical point such that I can move up and take him out before he can reload. Okay, so I've got an IS-6 down there. Now I've taken the hill. Oh boy, did not see that. That was unfortunate, but I have a reload, so let's see if we can work him. Darn it. Ended up getting into his track and didn't hurt him. Again, cognizant of the artillery. Realizing the IS-6 is down there, so my immediate threat, closest croc to the boat at this point is the T-10. He's going to try to push out some dead tanks to help him out armor-wise. Now I'm dealing with this barrel of this tank that's dead in front of me, and I noticed that as I was playing, thinking this is going to be a pain. I may miss a shot because I got this barrel in the way. And this is the patient part. I do need to get rid of this T-10, but I don't want to come around that corner and eat shots from the arty. And it's only me right now. Finally, I get the Oho coming up behind me. He takes a hit, gets the T-10's attention a little bit, who makes a mistake, backs out just enough for me to put a shot into his shoulder there. So pretty good. Scorpion G. You can see that the guys working around the south are finally making their impact. Taking out a couple guys. The JT and the Sturv are still hanging out down here. They do have shots on any campers if they move up a little bit, so it's not a terrible spot. Just unknown what they've been doing most of the game. Challenger makes a run for it. He gets nuked. And now I'm just looking for a way to get down there. I need to get that IS-6 out. He's the next problem because he can light us, which is going to be a factor for arty. That was a huge mistake on the arty's part, but he ends up whacking the Oho. Fortunately, I'll come in here with a reload and I'll take that free kill. And now backing up, back. And guess what? The other arty's dead. So, didn't really realize that at the time, but that's good. Oh, goodness. All right, excellent. IS-6 is now gone. So the enemy team, realizing they had a problem on the hill, attempted to take us out. I'll come up here, and I'm committed, so I'm just going to come right over the top of this little hill and down. Pretty confident based on where the super is and the 2 TDs that I wouldn't get seen, but I don't want to hang out up on that ridge too long, and it's the reason why I didn't move up forward while the IS-6 was there. All right, once I see him, and this is a good spot right here, this bush can be used really well, especially by tanks with depression. You can see how easily I can hide the rest of my hole right here. Once I saw him, I backed up so that less of my tank was exposed, because if I was fully up and on there and took the shot, it's unlikely I'd have been able to back away in time. So I backed down a little bit, aim in, and I end up getting a shot right onto that little cupola. I am moving back and forth just a little bit. They don't have any arty, but just in case they have 1 pixel on me somehow down there, just make it a little more difficult. I probably pushed forward a little too soon. If I was still lit, they may have seen me coming, and if they just timed a shot right in here, they may have actually taken me out. So now I'll move down here, and I'll make another bit of a buffoonerous mistake. Instead of slowing down right here and just taking a peek around here with just my turret, I actually exposed quite a bit of my tank. And what I was thinking is the MT-25 had their attention because he just got whacked. Let's see what happens here. Oh geez. And that was just pure luck. That actually went into the top of his turret and pinned him. He's probably cursing right now. Or maybe on the, yeah, it did go on the top of his turret. I know I'm going to out reload him more than likely unless he's got the small gun. And we'll take him down right there and continue to move in. So taking the critical terrain, being patient, holding on to it, working whatever tanks showed up. I ended up missing this shot, or actually I'll bounce, unfortunately. And they'll end up killing him right there. So there you go. Take the high ground and be patient. Sometimes it is time to push hard and fast. Other times it is time to pick off the tanks as they come at you and be careful. Preserve your hit points. I hope this helps. Take care. And as usual, if you like what you see, go ahead and subscribe. I have a Twitch channel. Check that out. We'll catch you guys later.